I'm Vinu Keller. Welcome to Vinu Inspires. It's time to give your children a childhood they won't have to heal from. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. Today I wanted to talk to you about how do we get out of our kids playing the victim. In order to understand how to do that, we first need to understand, what does it mean to be the victim? And are we the victim? Do we show up in our kids' life as the victim, as poor me, I do everything, you don't help me, I have to do this, I have to do that? If we are showing up that way, we are already teaching our kids to show up that way in their life, that it's the poor me, that everything is happening to me, when actually life is happening for us and through us. And so if we want our kids to take ownership, to really understand who they are in this world and how to get over conflict, it's taking accountability, it's taking ownership for themselves versus this happened to me and it's not fair to me. Or, I mean, how many of us have heard our kids say, but that's not fair? I hear it all the time in my house. And we all know life isn't fair. And sometimes we just have to do the things that we don't want to do. One of my great mentors, Joseph McClendon III, says that discipline is doing the prescribed thing at the prescribed time, even though you don't want to do it. So maybe that's your kid cleaning their room. You know, it takes discipline to get them to do it, to create that momentum, and for them to see the results when they do it and feel good about it. If we can teach them how to take ownership and how to feel good about the ownership, they would not be the victim, that you would not hear, it's not fair, and why does this happen to me? It's always my fault. These are words we hear from our kids all the time. And so now we have an opportunity to really teach them how to live life without being the victim and actually be the hero. You know, what are some of the things that we can help our kids reframe to a different definition so it's not something that's always bad? You know, something bad happens to them to school and it's like, oh, this happened to me and they weren't nice to me. Yes, kids are not nice all the time. And what does that mean to you? And if we could teach them that the way people treat us sometimes is not about us, it's a reflection of their own self. Sometimes people are having a bad day. Sometimes people are really stressed. They have a million things on their mind. I know I'm like that as a parent. I constantly have so much on my mind. And when my child asks at the wrong time, the wrong place, sometimes I'm like, what? And I could be a little abrupt with them. Okay, sometimes a lot abrupt, right? I have so much going on in my mind. And I own it. And I say, I'm sorry. It just was not the right time. I had a lot on my mind. And now I'm going to be present with you and tell me what you were saying. So I teach them my own ownership so they don't feel like, oh, mom always does that to me. No, I'm going to take ownership. This had nothing to do with them. It's a reflection of what was going on with me. So these are just different ways that if you start taking ownership for you and you're not playing the victim around them, that everything falls on you and I have to do everything, we can actually, by our own actions, start to reshape that in our own children. So they too are taking ownership. They too are taking accountability. If you find this helpful, please comment down below. If you have any questions of how you can help reshape that and you have a specific incident, please comment below and I will respond. And I can give you some different types of strategies depending on what the situation is, right? Because everyone's situation is different. Our kids say different things. And sometimes the victim shows up in different ways in us. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you next Wednesday.